service. That's to integrate universal values. These are not culturally defined values that I've developed. And the idea in this course is to get children to creatively and critically think through some of these questions. What are values? What is empathy? We can't learn about it up here. I have to feel empathy by getting to know you, darling, a lot better. People are not their jobs. People are unbelievably deep. I see it like there's a universe of ideas and depth to every single person that I've met. Now what the clown has done for me is that it's helped me to look at other people in different ways. So whenever I see anyone, I'm not judging people by how they look or what profession they come from. I really don't care. All I'm interested in is whether you're smiling or you're not smiling. And even if you're not smiling, that's still okay. I'm smiling. So you don't have to smile because I smile at you. I'm just here because I'm in a state of joy. And that joy that I live in today is 99% of the time now. And it comes from within. I don't need external things. I don't watch television anymore. I've turned it all off. I've written 1,500 poems on truth, love, politics, you name it. I've written on every subject. Because I've started to understand that wisdom comes from experience. With knowledge, it's knowledge applied, but it's been very authentic. And I've literally followed a thread throughout my entire life, which is how do we create peace? And what I've learned is that to thine own self be true is one of the ways, and to learn to open the heart, to really love other people and to really let people in. Patch Adams is a great example of a leader. He was extremely intelligent. I mean, I think he got 99% in his exams in medicine. But where he really shone was through the application of opening the heart. He showed the medical fraternity that it was all about caring about other human beings. This is what matters. This is what really matters in the world today. And this is what the world is crying out for. So what I'd love to say to all of you is that I really wish you the greatest of happiness. And to know that success is successive. You cannot fail. You never failed. You can never fail. You can only in one aspect can you fail, and that's to fail to try. And be prepared to step out of your comfort zone. Be different. Dare to be different. Dare to be strange, even. It's okay. You'll never be forgotten. I can assure you. Now, I'll finish now, but I'm going to ask people, do you have any questions that you'd like to quickly ask? I like the wig. It's cool. Any questions? It's not every day you have a plan in front of you. And I haven't even told you my whole speech. I actually changed it after you read it all out. So you've got to be prepared to be flexible. Just make it up. Yes, gorgeous.
I really appreciate what you're saying about being bright and colourful and smiling and taking risks with people. But I'm just curious, in all your adventures, have you felt threatened or had anything sort of scary happen
Never.
to you by putting yourself in such a vulnerable position?
Never. Not once. I've clowned on the streets. I've been in refugee camps. I even sat with the Khmer Rouge actually in southern Cambodia. That was interesting, very interesting. No, as a clown, I've never ever been threatened. I've had Vikings laugh at me. I've had punks. I had a punk once. I went up behind a punk and I was going, "G'day, darling, how are you?" And he turns around and goes, like he's going to, pardon the expression, he's going to snot me, you know. That's what they say. He looked at me like he was really angry, and then when he saw that I looked more radical than him, he just started laughing. So not once. People are wonderful. In my experience, and I travelled the world to 20 countries, I didn't find one negative person, and people can say, "Oh, boy, you're lucky." I don't believe I was lucky at all. I think when you have a positive aura around you, and where you're no threat to anybody, they won't attack you. It won't happen. And I went around Australia with a tent by myself as well, and I offered peace education and sustainability education to schools. And it was just the most fantastic trip. I have no fear of stepping out anymore. It's gone. Because I know, it's very much like the Fool. If any of you look up the Fool archetype, I've lived this life, where you step out and then see what happens. And then something comes, and then something comes. Most people try and plan it out. I was a market analyst. I know all about planning. But I'll tell you, this life that I've lived has been such a liberating and freeing experience because I'm really literally making it up as I go. The only thing that stays very permanent for me is my commitment to peace. And I work on it 24/7. I never stop. I meditate, work on inner peace. I'm looking at philosophy. I've realised that we create our reality by the way that we think. So now I'm looking at how we think. And I'm changing my thought process so it's very positive, but not idealistic. I'm certainly an economist. I've studied the political spectrum. I understand how these things work. But what I know is more powerful is love. I know that love is the power. And I'm sure Gandhi would agree with me. He said it was the most powerful force in the world was non-violence. And look what he did in India. So just imagine if every one of you committed yourself to really becoming a wonderful, loving human being. I'll guarantee you you'll be amazed at the opportunities that will come. But keep your eyes open, because they often come in ways that you don't expect. I never expected to become a clown. I got inspired to become a clown. I was on my way to become an economist and analyst. I was being invited to publicly speak on market research. So I changed. I completely changed. Any other questions? Yes?
What can you say has been your most fulfilling experience?
They're all fulfilling. My most fulfilling.
Or most memorable to you?
I have to say Gandhi's ashram. I went to Ahmedabad in India, and I do love Gandhi. I dreamed that Gandhi came to me too. I had interesting experiences. But I went to his ashram, and I remember I was going into the bookshop, all Gandhi books, and I could feel the tears coming, and I'm thinking, oh, for God's sake, inspiration it was. And I thought, I can't go in there and cry, they'll think I'm upset. So I tried to look at anything but Gandhi. I tried to think of anything but Gandhi. And then in the end, I walked in, and I went up to the counter. I got a couple of books, of course, one was Gandhi. I went up to the counter, and the Satyagrahi, that's what they call the women who wear white, who are devotees of Gandhi's work. Although Gandhi would never want that, he doesn't believe in a following. I went up to the counter, and then I started crying and laughing at the same time. And I said, oh, don't worry about me. I said, I'm inspired by Gandhi. And this woman said, would you like to go for a tour around the ashram? I went, yeah. So she took me around, and she actually opened up the private room of Gandhi's. It was unlocked. And I got to see the spinning wheel and the staff. In my dream, I saw Gandhi with a staff. It was all very dark in the dream, and I just saw the rims of his glasses. So when I sat in there, I grabbed the staff, and I sat on the floor with this woman, and we talked about peace education. That for me was absolutely wonderful moment. I think there's a lot of mystery in this life that we need to start to talk about. You know, by all means, analyse. By all means, investigate. For me, I've had a lot of interesting experiences which have been signposts along the way. Any other thoughts, questions? Does anyone want to know? Yes, Mark.
I love you, Peacefull.
I love you, Mark.
What's your process for accepting the things in life that you know you can't change?
Oh, bloody good question. Very good question. I highly recommend you have a look at the work by Byron Katie, www.thework.com. She was depressed for 10 years and woke up, literally woke up, and she saw the world differently. She saw the world as one. She never had one moment of stress or depression from the moment she woke up. Now what she says is loving what is. Now this will be very challenging for most people. How can you love war? How can you love rape? How can you love all the worst things in the world? The way she sees it is that you be one with reality. Reality is what turns up. You can't deny these things happen. But nothing should disturb your peace within you. So for example, if I see something traumatic happening, I'm not going to join in the drama. I will feel compassion and I'll certainly help, but I'm not joining in that drama. For instance, television whips it up a lot. So I choose to be in peace because I know if I'm in peace, I'm creating peace around me. There's ripples that come out from every single person. And that's how you create world peace, is when you become peaceful, others around you become peaceful, your family becomes peaceful. Just imagine it. If all families were peaceful, can you imagine what happens then? There's your world peace. And that's why they always say peace begins with you. It's not about world leaders, it's actually about all of you. So that's what I would say to that. Is be the change you wish to see, and learn to love life as it turns up and accept what is. That doesn't mean that you don't go and create peace education programs like I've done, you know. Thank you. Oh, that's nice. I do that.
There we go. Lovely, excellent. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome.
I'm at peace there.
Are you?